Welcome to History Nuts. I'm Russ Carson Jr., the founder of Family Tree Nuts. At Family Tree Nuts, we build family trees for people, and we produce videos at historic locations and videos that help to honor your ancestors.
I'm Jameson Cable, founder of the Kentucky History Podcast, where we talk about anything Kentucky history, events, people. If it has to do with Kentucky, we're going to discuss it.
And we've teamed up together to bring you History Nuts.
History Nuts is a live show where we talk about, you guessed it, history.
Right. History seems to be less and less to people today, but we are trying to do everything we can to keep it alive.
Absolutely. History is a passion of ours for sure, but it connects to you. Russ, tell us about the best part of the show.
You can join in. You can comment and ask questions live.
We've got a great topic today, and we know you're going to enjoy this episode of
History Nuts.
And we are live. Woo! We are live. Hey, everybody, this is Colonel Carson with Family Tree Nuts with my good pal,
Jameson Cable, Kentucky History Podcast.
That's right. That's right, man. I have been looking forward to this particular show for, months, I guess, when we put it on the schedule there. And you told me in the backstage there we were going to be talking about Andrew Johnson, and I'm like, uh-oh.
No.
we prepared for the wrong show. This is Andrew Jackson, the man, Andrew Jackson.
Hey, it's been a bit of a vacation. I mean, we've been off for 2 weeks, so let us know where you're watching from. How's it been going, man? Been going good?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we missed there a couple of weeks there in a row, and things that couldn't be helped. But we had several people chiming in and saying, "What the heck's going on? Where are you guys at?" You know, so we had a little bit of technical difficulties there in the beginning, but before we get started here, let's remind everybody, if you like these types of things that we do, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channels. Not just these shows that we do here talking, but all the different things that we do on our YouTube channels that you'll see there, the historical stuff that we do. Mm-hmm. And let us know where you're watching from. Looks like we got a few comments already.
From Texas, Danville, Kentucky, right down the road, man. Big history center there in Danville. Michigan.
Yeah, your favorite.
Well, that was not my favorite. I like going and visiting the historical spots, yes.
Right, absolutely. So, what's been going on with you? Well, we'll talk about that at the end. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, let's get into this, man.
To talk about Andy Jackson,
your boy, right?
Absolutely. Look, like Jason said, he's from Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. It's we're in Gettysburg time right now. It's day 2 of the Battle of Gettysburg. But
Richmond, Indiana, Monroe, Georgia, Colorado, all over the place, man. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, Andrew Jackson. Love him some duels, they say. Kind of thing.
That may be an understatement. We'll talk about that in a little bit too. But yeah, sure. You like to duel a little bit.
You know, that's one of the reasons why I like this guy, kind of thing, because Andrew Jackson is a self-made man. He came from nothing. He's poor Scots-Irish white trash on the frontier that ended up becoming president of the United States. So, definitely a go-getter, but he didn't take any crap neither.
I like how you describe him as your favorite historical figure, and you lead off with poor white trash Irishman.
Hey, I can relate, So, birds of a feather, right?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
But yeah, so Andrew Jackson fighting a duel. Mm-hmm. It all started with just like every other argument has ever happened, miscommunication, egos, ambitions,
tempers,
booze, and gambling.
Oh, yeah.
Those are the recipes for disaster.
That's what I was going to say. Those are the ingredients for a duel, for sure.
Well, the first few was like definitely a ingredients for your spousal, arguments and things right there, right? The miscommunication, ego, but you throw a little booze and gambling in there, and then next thing you know,
rum. Somebody chimed in rum. Some rum. Yeah,
Carl says rum. Yeah. Ancestor Stalker 1 says hello from Illinois. Glad you guys are back. Missed the story time last week. So yeah, good deal. So what year are we talking about?
1806. So a bit, before he was president, but still making his name known. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And oh yeah, I wanted to say one more thing before we get into this. I am a 100% for dueling. Let us know at the end of the show if you are
pro
or dueling.
Yeah, pro or negative, or if you're pro or against dueling.
How about you, Jameson?
I don't know. I'm not a good shot at anything, so I don't know. I don't think it would work out too well. I guess I just wouldn't have to. I would never be able to offend anybody. So
right there you go. There you go. See, you bring back dueling. People are nicer to each other. I think. Have you ever seen the oath for like the governor of Kentucky? Or
yeah. So.
Even if you're going to be a notary public, it's in their oath also too. Have you seen that?
Yeah. You have to say I've never participated in a duel. Pretty interesting stuff.
Norbin a second.
Yeah, you got to have your second.
I've been down at the courthouse researching records, and there'll be somebody coming down there like, raise your right hand. I have not participated in a duel. I just think that's awesome, But
that's cool.
Okay, all started with a gambling bet between Andrew Jackson and Captain Joseph Irwin. What were they gambling about?
Well, horse racing, man. What else is there to gamble about? This is a Kentucky history podcast here, so got to be horse racing.
Definitely horse racing. Both of them were up-and-coming breeders, and Jackson's horse was named Truxon, and Irwin's horse was named Plowboy. So,
Plowboy. Any idea of the breed of these horses? Thoroughbreds, any idea of that? I mean, this is just a random question.
It's right there at the beginning, of horse racing there. So I'm not exactly sure. So
yeah, that'd be just a side note, but. What was the prize? How much money are we talking about?
$2,000.
Ooh.
That is a very substantial bet. These guys were flexing their muscles. The winner was going to take $2,000. Now, I'm not a gambler anyway, but I dang sure wouldn't be gambling $2,000 today, let alone 215 years ago, I guess. But
if somebody can do the quick math on that, the inflation and all that stuff, how much $2,000 would be nowadays?
I should look that up. But the thing about it was they had a little side agreement that if one of the horses came up lame and was not able to race, the guy with the lame horse would have to pay the other guy $800.
Interesting. That's reasonable. Keeps everybody honest. Keeps everybody, you want to at least let your horse run. It might win. You'd want, it'd be better than paying $800 if you can't. I mean, it makes a lot of sense.
Especially you've trained your horse is training for this event to happen, and next thing you know, you can't race. And if you know anything at all about racehorses racing, which I don't know a lot of, but I know they have specific training regimens that they have to do leading up to the horse race. Somebody said an American quarter horse. So
cool. So what happened though? That scenario?
Well, yeah. So Plowboy shows up lame and can't race. Andrew Jackson doesn't care. He's made $800.
$800, yeah. All he had to do was show up
with a handshake, kind of thing. So, so they start feuding about the agreement. I didn't say that. Yes, you did. And I have witnesses. And the thing gets really ugly. And at that point in time, we enter in another character.
Charles Dickinson.
Yeah. Charles
the son-in-law. The son-in-law of Irwin.
And the more you know about, the more you study about Charles Dickinson, he's a spoiled little rich kid, in my opinion. You know, he's kind of a arrogant smart aleck, I guess you'd say, kind of thing. The more you study him.
And now, would it be crazy to say that maybe he's trying his best to impress his father-in-law? Would that be, crazy to think?
Yeah, probably. He was trained as a lawyer. He actually studied under John Marshall. Right.
Kentucky. Yeah, it's first Supreme Court Justice John Marshall. Is that right?
That's correct. Yeah, big connections. He came from a long line of money. He's kind of like your family, Jameson, I think, right? That studied.
So. Well, that's a short line of money, if anything.
So he moves out west and he tries to do a little bit of horse breeding too, and. This issue, we find very quickly, this argument, this feud is because of politics, and like now, but even especially back then, these guys were men of ambitions, and they took a lot of risks and things like that. So Carl says he was just reading about him. Hey, Carl, we haven't seen you around in a while, man. Good to see you back. We were up in your country there this week. All right.
So, yeah. Also, Erwin was also a successful horse breeder, plantation owner, but as you said, definitely got some money behind him.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So, and Dickinson, he becomes angry at Andrew Jackson. It wasn't even his fight.
Yeah.
And he gets in a fight and an argument with one of Andrew Jackson's friends. And Dickinson calls Jackson a coward and
equivocator. Listen here, you equivocator. I've had enough.
They spoke pretty flowery, and I'm very accustomed to looking up words that I read in a historical document. Do you know what an equivocator is?
Not right off. What's an equivocator?
Basically, in today's language, it would be somebody that is hiding the truth. A little different than a liar, but someone.
I was going to say not necessarily a liar, but someone who's hiding something.
Right, but so he's an equivocator. Those are fighting words. Anybody else? The coward thing.
Yeah. You can call me a coward all you want, but once you throw out equivocator, that's when we're going hands or blows, man.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And the feud got even deeper. And Jackson's friend, John Coffey, who later becomes General Coffey, he actually had a duel with one of Dickinson's friends. So not only these two fellas feuding, but their friends have feuded with the other guy's friends.
Just a bunch of gossip, ain't it? It's
just... they're definitely on different edges of the spectrum here.
Yeah.
So, you are an average of the 5 people that you hang around with the most, and these guys were not each other's 5.
So, did you mention that Dickinson published a statement in the Nashville Review calling Jackson a worthless scoundrel and a plorotron and a coward?
Poltroon.
Now, what do you got some meaning behind that one?
Yeah, poltroon's another fancy name for a coward. You're a coward and a poltroon. You're a poltroon,
Doubling up on the insults.
Yeah, and they're publishing this in the newspaper.
That's war, man. That is, political war.
Facebook, man.
In those days.
Facebook at the time, he's you poltroon, posted an ugly picture of him, and called him a poltroon right on there. But it got even deeper because it said that Dickinson insulted Andrew Jackson's wife.
Now we're getting, now we're getting a little bit more deeper territory here.
You know what he called her?
What? What did he call her?
A bigamist. Do you know what a bigamist is? A bigamist is someone that's married to more than one person.
Okay, okay, all right. I got you.
Rachel Donaldson was actually married. Her husband abandoned her and went on to Mississippi, but apparently he never did file for divorce. Rachel thought that he did. Andrew Jackson married her. It was just a technicality. But man, you can say something about somebody, but you say something about their wife.
That's a different story. Yeah.
So Jackson confronted him, Dickinson, and said, "Hey man, you say are you talking nasty about my wife?" You know what Dickinson told him?
Oh, I'm sorry, man. Didn't mean to do that.
Yeah, he said if he did, he didn't think he did, but if he did, he must have been drunk, and he apologized. So.
Oh, there you go. The most common excuse for the past million years.
That excuse does not fly, you know. So saying I was drunk does not get you out of trouble with the law, other people, or your spouse. So it's just not a good excuse. But he did apologize, and Jackson actually accepted his apology when he did that. But
good. All is said and done, right?
No.
End of story.
You know, it could have been. It could have been. But eventually, Irvin paid the guy that Jackson originally had to bet with, really should have had a feud with in the first place. He went ahead and paid Jackson his $800.
All right.
But then there was a guy, one of Jackson's friends, was at the local tavern talking smack. You know, actually, I think he was at a store. But
okay, all right. I was gonna say, well, you know, being at a store talking smack, but being at a tavern might be more on the booze coming into that.
Okay, Barb says, which Dickinson I got here late? His name's Charles Dickinson. Charles Dickinson. You can always go back and watch these at any time. That's another good thing to bring that up. You can watch these videos anytime. They're going to be
both our YouTube channels have them and Facebook's. Don says that they are watching from Myrtle Beach on vacation. Ever been to Myrtle Beach, man?
Yeah, I've been there for about 5 minutes.
Oh man, come on!
We talk about the beach. My family's at the beach in North Carolina right now, and here I am talking to you. I had to stay here to make sure we had this. You know, make sure we could go tonight. So
that's a dedication, man.
That's right, absolutely. But he pays him $800. One of Jackson's friends talking smack about Irvin and how he paid the money, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Dickinson hears about that, and he sends his buddy to go investigate. A guy by the name of Swan.
Yeah. So now, but let me back up here. So Jackson's buddy is talking smack that Dickinson paid the money.
No, that Irvin paid the money.
Oh, no, that Irvin paid the money.
Well, he's talking about how he paid it, how he was trying to fishtail out of it. You know.
Okay. That kind of that's what I was trying to plant in my head is like, what exactly smack talking are you doing? Is like, yeah, he paid $800. That's right. He paid up. Well, I mean, maybe that was, you know.
Yeah, it only took him, you know, several months to pay it.
Yeah.
He had to be shamefully, you know, just talking bad about him. And, you know, these are small towns and small town talk around for sure. But Dickinson sticks his nose in it again.
Oh.
And
instead
of confronting him, he sends his buddy, Swan, to confront Jackson about what his buddy told him. You can see how this is turning into a mess. You ever play telephone?
Yeah. Well, it's one of those things I do with the students, of course. You do telephone, and just so they understand, you know, spreading rumors and gossip, you shouldn't do it. And by the time you get to the end, you get a whole nother story.
That's right. That's right. So the Swan, what's the word? Questions Andrew Jackson in public, you know, about what was said and what they're talking about him. Jackson, being Jackson, takes his cane and smacks him upside the head and tells him to tag on Medler for that coward. And so, you know, and that low down drunkard, you know.
Oh, there we go. got the big name calling now, and
called him a stupid meddler is what he called him.
And of course, both of these people go and write columns about each other too in the newspaper. Man, got to put it out there, make it public.
He sure did. Swan put it on there, calling Jackson a coward. And then, of course, Dickinson wrote Andrew Jackson a letter calling him a coward. Jackson wrote a column back to Swan and called him a lying valet for a worthless, drunken blackguard.
Those are some heavy words. Heavy words.
A blackguard is another old time word for a guy that does bad things, I guess. You know, a no gooder, so kind of thing.
Yeah, like I know what a valet is, but a lying valet, is that saying like he's going and doing the lying for somebody else? I would assume, and you know,
that's where the miscommunication went in there. You know, if these fellows would have just sat down, had a nice steak together, you know, they might have figured out, you know, I didn't say that, you know, but things got a little bit twisted and stuff like that. And pretty soon Jackson had enough. And he wrote him a letter and he said, please give me the satisfaction due me for the insults offered, and challenged him to a duel.
There we go. Jackson's home. I was going to say Jackson's home court. But
the problem is that Dickinson is very well known for his marksmanship.
Ooh. So,
you know, you don't challenge a guy to something that he's pretty good at. You know?
Yeah. I'm not gonna challenge LeBron James to a basketball game.
It's funny. I was thinking Michael Jordan. You know, it's funny. You know? But yeah, man, nothing. So he challenges him to a duel. You know, in those days, I mean, you can't really show your face, you know, if you don't accept.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a different time. And this is why I like dueling. I like dueling, man, because if somebody could challenge you to a duel today, you probably would be a lot nicer to them. You'd be a little slower in your mouth.
Definitely. Tap those keyboards. I don't want to hit enter on that.
Yeah, those keyboard warriors for sure. So, but there was a problem. They couldn't fight in Tennessee.
Illegal to duel in Tennessee. And we're at 1806. I was trying to think off the top of my head, but like dueling is beginning to become illegal, well, around the whole nation. So anyway. But
yeah, so there you go.
You can get around that, right? You can easily get around duel, that simple, easy one law, right?
Well, yeah, you just go to Kentucky.
There you go. Let's fire it up.
So, yeah, I mean, well, I remember Mark Twain said that when he dies, he wants to die in Kentucky because everything happens 20 years later. So, so he decided that they're going to go to Logan County, Kentucky, just right across the border. And near Adairsville, and it's set up for May 30th, 1806, near Harrison Mills.
All right. Well, you want to pause right there? We're getting to the good stuff, the dual stuff, and we'll have a little quick break and be right back.
Yeah, meet us on the other side.
Yeah. Virgil McCracken was born June 7, 1778, in the area that would become Woodford County. His parents were among the first settlers in the area of Frankfort in 1776. His father was a soldier who fought under George Rogers Clark. His father died in battle in 1782. He married Sally Caldwell in 1800, and they had 5 children together. McCracken was elected to the Kentucky General Assembly in 1810. He represented Woodford County. He organized a company of soldiers for the War of 1812. During the war, he was a captain of the Kentucky 1st Rifle Regiment. His men responded to General William Hull's need for reinforcements near Detroit and marched north. His men met the enemy at the Battle of River Raisin. McCracken was injured during the battle and too ill to be moved. Native Americans came in and he was killed on January 23, 1813. I hope you've enjoyed learning about Virgil McCracken. He was one of many Kentuckians who died in the Battle of River Raisin. 9 counties in Kentucky were named after those fallen soldiers. One of them is McCracken County. The 78th county in Kentucky was named after Virgil McCracken. Don't forget to try out audibletrial.com/KYHistoryPod to get a free book of your choosing. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification button for more Kentucky history content. If you'd like to support the channel, check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/KYHistoryPod. Find us on these social media platforms and check out the Kentucky History Podcast on these podcast platforms for more in-depth history of Kentucky. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
All right, we're back. That's cool. Yeah, 9 Kentucky counties.
Yeah, so Virgil McCracken, and there's 9, and that's one thing that we've I guess if we're gonna talk about my YouTube channel, I've been trying to get all 9 of those videos done of each of those 9 soldiers that died in River Raisin. So really cool, interesting. That all 9 of those got 9 counties named after them. And there was more, obviously, people that died in that battle. But yeah, so that's one of the things we're doing on the History Channel, Kentucky History Channel.
It's pretty cool. So, yeah, it really is. It's real exciting. Vicky, I see, she says she's down in Tennessee. She says, have we found out anything about Bigfoot in any of our history? So I don't know about that, but I have a guy that does. So we're going to do a show on that, Vicky, about the history of Bigfoot here in Appalachia.
Oh, cool. Okay. All right.
So we went from duels to Meade, the War of 1812, to Andrew Jackson to Bigfoot. So we'll get back on Andrew Jackson now. So
yeah, let's go, Andrew Jackson. So this is I think this is very interesting. So they're going to meet up for this duel in Logan County. Harrison's, what do we say? Harrison's Mills on the Red River. And Dickinson, he leaves early and makes stops, showing off his marksmanship skills. He's toting his skills, man. I mean, it's something.
That's why I said this guy is a rich kid, spoiled rich kid that, here he is. He's going to go to a life and death duel, and he's showing off along the way. So I guess it's no different than flexing his muscles. Andrew Jackson is in some trouble. See, so.
It's one of those things. The person who shouts the loudest, though, tends sometimes not be the wisest, or ends up not being the wisest, I guess. But anyway, so they have to have seconds. Who's the seconds? Who's the seconds? Are you there? Can you hear me? No?
Oh, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. Okay. I must have I was listening to you talking there, but
I said, who's the seconds? Who was their seconds for this duel?
Well, the second for Andrew Jackson was his buddy named Thomas Overton, and they worked it out a little bit of a strategy. Jackson was going to be at a disadvantage because of the Dickinson being as good of a marksman as he was. Do you know what they did for a strategy?
So, like as far as Jackson and Overton came up with the gentlemen already, and they're going to ask. I guess that's how they're going to ask the to fire, right? Is that it?
Well, the seconds, they got to have a coin flip.
Yeah.
To figure out who would be the official.
Mm-hmm.
So if Dickinson's second wins, it's irrelevant. But assuming that Overton won the coin toss, they worked out a strategy to give Jackson a little bit of an advantage.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So whoever, go ahead.
Well, yeah. Basically, he was going to ask Dickinson first. Mm-hmm. Are you ready? When he says yes, he's going to look at Jackson, and as soon as Jackson says yes, he's going to say fire.
Fire. There you go. So Jackson knows.
Hopefully, to get Dickinson to rush his shot. Kind of say fire unexpectedly, so he might be a little bit off there because, you want to be the first guy to shoot because you don't get a chance to shoot second if he first guy shoots really well. So,
Did it work? Did their plan work?
Not really. Overton did. I think they were only about like 25 yards away from each other, kind of. Yeah. So it's pretty close. In order to do this. So,
let's see. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to read a comment. Vicky asked, what are some ancestors' names?
I think she's talking about, she said she's related to the Clarks. There's two ladies.
Oh, yeah. Okay. The Clarks. Okay. And then Sandy says, I live a half an hour from Monroe and the River Raisin, 15 minutes across the water from Fort Malden, Emersonburg, Canada, where my great-great-great-grandfather Robert Fleming fought in the War of 1812. Robert was from Pike County, Kentucky. So cool. Yeah. Awesome. Real cool connection there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we actually did some Pike County history with a fellow. We recorded an episode. But anyway, so the plan didn't really work.
Well, it kind of did. He said fire. Dickinson does fire and shoots Jackson right in the chest.
Oh, so he was good. He was a good marksman.
End of the story, I guess, right?
Not necessarily. No, we still have a President Jackson.
Yeah. I've read some accounts that Jackson kind of stood a little bit in a fighter stance. And it kind of gave him a little bit smaller target and things.
Yeah.
Do that. But the round actually bounced off of one of his buttons, but it did lodge inside of his chest, and it broke two of his ribs.
Ooh.
And it sat, I think, 2 inches from his heart. So Jackson gets blasted, does not fall, which I wouldn't expect Andrew Jackson to fall from that. A shot to the chest, come on, man.
Yeah.
But so now Dickinson has to stand there.
This is crazy. I mean, so crazy.
And let Jackson take aim. And fire.
And he hits.
No.
What?
No, it doesn't hit. His pistol goes half cocked.
Oh no. Technicalities, right?
It is a technicality, and it's an important technicality. Because under the rules of dueling, you get to fire back. And if if the hammer falls and the round does not go off, that counts as a shot. But the technicality is it was half cocked.
So it never
has the opportunity to cock it again. Gosh, man. To stay.
And he has to stand there. Man.
Yeah. Becky says Dickinson died from tuberculosis. We must be talking about a different Dickinson, because the next shot, Jackson blasting right in the chest, drops him down. He bled to death right there.
Oh man. He had to stand there. But if he had left, what would have happened? If he had moved?
Oh yeah, you'd be a coward the rest of your life. You could never show your face. Yeah. So,
did Jackson have any kind of cool Thanos line like, "You should have aimed for the head"?
Well, okay, you're jumping ahead. You're jumping ahead. On his deathbed, Jackson told one of his caretakers that if Dickinson would have shot him in the brains, he'd have still shot him dead. So, well, yeah, he did have a cool liner even on his deathbed. That was the end of the story. Yeah. We're going to tell that since you asked that. But, so he bled to death. The bullet in Jackson's chest was not operable because it was so close to his heart, and it gave him tremendous pain the rest of his life. You know, maybe that was a good thing, you know, to remind him of lots of different things. And it caused Jackson tremendous problems. The people of the area, the townspeople, were ticked off. They thought it was garbage that Jackson shot him like he wasn't a gentleman. He said he could have fired off into the sky, you know. Kind of. He didn't have to cock it all the way back. Oh, by the way, that's where the term half-cocked, you know, somebody's going off half-cocked comes from. You know,
gotcha.
Kind of thing.
Okay.
But, you know, Jackson, why did he have to kill him? Why did he have to shoot him? He already knew that he was already hit. But Jackson simply said, he was trying to kill me, so I was trying to kill him.
There you go. I mean, that's how it worked. That's the ways of the duels, man. I mean, you know, it's kind of crazy. I mean, Jackson would have been shown pity, I guess. But, I mean, he still has a slug lodged in his chest.
Yeah, at this point in time, he doesn't know if he's going to live or die, you know.
Yeah, you can't, you know. In the heat of the moment, you can't really be like, man.
It's easy to be a quarterback, that's for sure.
Now, because isn't there I don't know, but if Jackson would have fired, isn't there like another? Aren't they allowed to shoot again, or is that even?
I don't think so. But I think that's it. That's like we've satisfied our honor
disagreement. Yeah.
You know, so everything's hunky dory at this point. You know, we're, you know, kind of thing. But yeah, it's pretty wild. You know, some people said that Jackson fought in 100 duels. Now, I tend to think that is a very much a embellishment, I guess, kind of thing. But, we know that he probably fought in lots of duels that just were never talked about, kind of thing.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
But you know, like I said, I you know, now that you've heard this story, folks, what do you think? Are you a fan of dueling? You know,
Should he have fired? Should he have fired off in the air?
Let us know what you think. Even if you're watching this tomorrow or next week, next year, you're coming across this. Let us know what you think about that. Should Andrew Jackson have just fired off away, and what's your opinion on dueling? So, my opinion is, you know, it's like Mike Tyson said: everybody's got a plan till he gets punched in the mouth. That's what he said. You know, but it's kind of like dueling. If you know somebody might challenge you to duel, you might not be so rude. You know, kind of thing. So. You know, you might be a little bit more gentleman.
Ancestry Stalker says a lot less problems.
See, bring it back. We don't have to have guns on. Why don't we just put the boxing gloves on? You know, that'd be great Saturday entertainment. Everybody's got some beef. You know?
What I mean, that's been a thing throughout. I mean, there's been cultures who've done that. Like, you know, we have our Saturday night. You know, you come out and lay out your grievances, and if you got a problem with somebody, you duke it out, and after it's over, it's over. You know,
that's right. My platoon in the Marine Corps, we made a great big sand pit outside the shop, and everybody had a disagreement. That's where you went. You to the pit. Everybody say to the pit. Hey man, you took my chair. Everybody say to the pit. You know, you got to get it out. You know, those kind of things. So then you be buddies again. You know, why can't we bring that back? We're far away from that right now. James, we're getting further and further away from that culture.
Let's see. Jason says pro dueling, and he did what he needed to do. So there you go.
And he always did.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, like we can sit here and be like I said, Monday morning quarterbacks all day, but you're not you've never been sitting there with a bullet lodged in your chest with a guy with a gun pointed at you. So, you know, did what we had to do.
That's right. Absolutely. So, yeah, that's a great story. We can talk about Andrew Jackson every show for the next year, as far as I'm concerned.
Easy.
You know, what do we got? What do we have next week? Vicky says we got.
So let's see. Next week, well, actually, so we got Isaac Shelby coming up in a few weeks. We got
next week is Captain Jack.
Jack. What Jack?
Do it.
Jewett. That's right.
Jack Sparrow, not Captain Jack Sparrow.
Captain Jack Jewett. Is there any history on any women doing this? Any women's duels? Huh. That's a great question, and I don't know of any right off.
Ever look that up?
Yeah, yeah. I might need to dig around on that. That's a great question. Not that I know of, but we can always see if we can find something out.
Theirs might be a little more vicious than ours.
Yeah.
The women's duels might be a little bit more vicious.
You get 5 shots.
Yeah, and you don't die. You gotta hear about it for the next 30 years.
Yeah. So Jack Jewett, Isaac Shelby, Elijah Craig, I think is on the list. So those are some topics coming up. So
Elijah Craig.
Yeah.
The bourbon.
Yeah,
the bourbon making preacher.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, man. Before we sign off, I wanted to make sure that I got a chance to mention to you that we've had a really busy week at Family Tree Nuts. We did a project on Monday, and there's a cemetery in Clay County, Kentucky, that the Board of Education actually owns the land the cemetery is on, and they want to remove that cemetery and put in a baseball field. So several family members reached out to us, and we produced a video. We've got a live video on our Facebook page right now that's on there. It's got over 180,000 views right now, but the edited version hits tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. So make sure you check on our YouTube channel tomorrow at 8 a.m. It'll be all over the place. Check out that edited version. A lot of people think this is crap. We need a lot of help. The family needs a lot of help to prevent this from happening. So just wanted to bring that up to check that out.
Yeah, it's one of those interesting situations. Like, I mean, I understand Eastern Kentucky and Clay County is not a lot of flat land, but I gotta think there's somewhere else they could dig, or somewhere else they could put a baseball field. And being all about the history, removing graves and that kind of stuff just seems unnecessary. So
yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, good work. Yeah. I saw the video, and share it out when you see it, and when it comes out tomorrow too.
No doubt. We need to get as many eyes and much attention on that as we can, for sure. So Doug says, do not move that cemetery. James says there was a duel in Dallas last week between a motorcyclist and a car driver. Both pulled guns and one died.
I guess that is true. There are still some duels out there. What else? Oh, got choked up there.
What else is in the air, So
yeah. What else you got going on, Family Tree Nuts there? Coming out, I guess.
We got all kinds of stuff going on, man. We've got videos galore planned. You've probably been seeing a lot of our photos that we've been posting about some pre-videos that are going to be made. I think in the next 2 weeks, we're probably going to film about a dozen videos are on the schedule. So be on the lookout for those. So, but how about you guys?
So recorded, I've kind of June has been a massive kind of recording a month for us. We haven't really put out much in June, but I've recorded about Pike County history, Johnson County history, Jefferson County history, and done some Civil War. Recorded some stuff about Civil War. So a lot of stuff coming out here in the next few months. So
yeah, really is.
And already mentioned the river raising videos too. So.
Great. You guys are so good for, if we do genealogy work and we make videos. Well, you can't watch our videos going down the interstate or mowing the grass.
But unless somebody else is driving.
Right. Or you can, but you can listen to the Kentucky History Podcast while you do all those things. And that's why I listen to you guys when I'm doing tours or whatever else, or shaving, whatever, kind of thing. I'm checking out the Kentucky History Podcast. So it's definitely something well worth that everybody needs to do. So anything else you want to say about old Hickory right now?
Not much. Pretty wild story, which, if you dig enough in his life, you're going to find a lot of good, entertaining stories. So that's a big thing about history, man. Is stories, man, telling stories. It's good stuff.
Absolutely. So, all right. Well, I guess we'll sign off for now. If you don't have anything else, or
I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for watching.
We're going to talk about Captain Jack Jewett, the Paul Revere of the South. Made an incredible, daring journey that saved the lives of so many legislators and maybe even helped us win the war. So we'll get out of here, guys. Talk to you later. And remember, family tree nuts. Let our nuts find the nuts in your family tree.
At Family Tree Nuts, we make professional, historic videos all over the country and currently have videos in 25 states and even a few international. Let's face it, nobody wants to read anymore. As a matter of fact, nobody wants to even watch long videos, which is why I'm going to keep this real quick. Moving into the future, how are we going to educate the public on all the historic treasures that are found in every community? We have found the answer. Short, entertaining, and to-the-point videos with lots of shots and views that are relevant to the subject. These videos are shared on social media and are the fastest and least expensive way to educate the community on the history of your area. We have experience working with historical organizations as well as city or county tourism departments and Chamber of Commerce's to produce these videos for their use. Our clients are provided with copies of any video produced as well as online links to the videos that they can easily add to their websites. Let us document and produce videos of just a few or all the historic sites in your area. You will find our rates extremely affordable and well below the industry standard for media production. We are passionate about preserving and documenting as many historical sites as we can, and we would love to work with you. For more information, contact me directly at russ@familytreenuts.org or my personal phone at 859-314-1976. And remember, Family Tree Nuts, let our nuts find the nuts in your family tree.
What Kentucky meant to them. This land between the meadows was the name that the Wyandot, Kantawa.
You know, they'd always say Paducah is halfway between Monkey's Eyebrow and Possum Trot.
I moved to Lexington in 1996 to attend University of Kentucky College of Law.
I was born in the great state of Kentucky in Pike County at the Pikeville Methodist Hospital.
Grew up on Short Street in downtown Lexington.
I grew up in northern Kentucky.
Contrary to popular belief, Western Kentuckians are still just as Kentucky.
And met my wife there. She's from Lawrence County, Kentucky, and I never had any notion of leaving after I got here.
My whole family is still, I mean, we're generational. We've been there in Ballard I was able to know my great-grandparents and, you know, obviously hear lots of stories about my great-great-grandparents.
We got to work on a movie, explores Kentucky culture and history and the stories of a wide range of people who live there.
Jet would never talk about being a night rider. It was a secret organization. You couldn't divulge your information.
Yeah. My great-great-granddaddy's like musket, like double-barrel shotgun that they passed down to me.
You know, local history is something that interests me.
So Kentucky is very dear to me, and I love it very much.
A lot of fond memories of Kentucky. Spent a lot of time on the grandparents' tobacco farms.
Both of us growing up in Kentucky, being from Kentucky, value and see the rich history. There's so many things Kentucky offers.
Makes our state beautiful, and honestly, like, there's so much colorful history in Kentucky. I mean, there's, you know, I don't know. I feel like Kentucky, it's got its own
thing. Yeah.
Got its own thing. It really does, and I say that being a proud Kentuckian, so maybe but honestly, like, even all my friends that aren't, you know, from there have always like, Kentucky's got something going on, and like it definitely does.
Ended up kind of on some back roads and just exploring Kentucky's beauty and its history.
When you find something you enjoy, you just teach it, but you know, you keep learning.
Love Kentucky. Kentucky's a special place.
I'm a proud Kentuckian.
and they came up with Kentucky.